everyone, breaking news for Social Security recipients. Your payment schedule in November 2025 is about to shift in a way that could easily catch people off guard. And if you're not ready, you might wake up one morning wondering why your check hasn't arrived, why your balance looks off, or whether your deposit was missed altogether. What happens in the next few weeks will determine whether your money shows up exactly when you expect it, or days early without you realizing it. This affects your benefits, your bills, and your peace of mind. But don't worry, I've got you covered. This channel exists for one purpose: to keep you informed, protected, and one step ahead of every Social Security change before it affects your wallet. So before we go any further, make sure you're subscribed and notifications are on, because what I'm about to explain could save you from serious confusion, stress, and unnecessary panic this November. Let's talk about exactly what's happening. Every year, the Social Security Administration releases a detailed payment schedule for retirees, people with disabilities, survivors, and those receiving Supplemental Security Income, or SSI. For most people on Social Security retirement or disability benefits, payments come once a month, and the specific date depends on your birthday. If your birthday falls between the 1st and the 10th, you're paid on the second Wednesday of the month. If it's between the 11th and the 20th, you're paid on the third Wednesday. And if your birthday is from the 21st through the end of the month, your deposit comes on the fourth Wednesday. It's been that way for years. In November 2025, those payment dates will land on November 12th, November 19th, and November 26th. So far, that sounds completely normal. But here's where it gets tricky, and this is where a lot of people get thrown off. SSI follows a totally different rule. Those payments are scheduled for the first day of each month. However, when the first falls on a weekend or a federal holiday, the payment doesn't wait until the next business day. It actually arrives early on the previous weekday. And that's exactly what's happening this fall. November 1st, 2025 falls on a Saturday. That means your SSI payment for November will not arrive in November at all. It's being sent out early on Friday, October 31st. So what does that mean in real terms? It means 2 payments in October and none in November. The system isn't broken, your money isn't missing, and your eligibility hasn't changed. You're simply getting your November benefit one day before the new month begins. Now, if you receive both SSI and Social Security benefits, this can make things even more confusing. Here's why. You'll still get your regular Social Security payment in November on your usual Wednesday, but your SSI will already have been delivered on October 31st. So when you look at your account in early November, you'll only see one deposit, your Social Security check, and it may look like your SSI is missing. That's when the confusion sets in. Every single time this happens, people flood phone lines and banks with the same question: where's my money? But in reality, it's already sitting in your account. It just came early. Picture this scenario. You're living on a fixed income. You pay rent, utilities, groceries, all timed perfectly around your benefit schedule. You open your account in November and see your Social Security payment, but the SSI you count on isn't there. Panic starts to set in. You call the Social Security number, you wait on hold for hours, you refresh your bank app again and again. Maybe you even go to the local office in person, only to learn your payment actually arrived days earlier, on October 31st. For thousands of Americans, that's exactly what will happen this fall. They'll think their check disappeared, when really they just spent it too soon. Let me give you a real story that illustrates this. Last year, when a similar schedule change happened, a woman named Ruth from Michigan told me she received 2 SSI deposits in October, one on the 1st and another on the 31st. She thought it was a bonus, maybe a small increase or a correction. So she used it to cover bills and buy groceries. Then November came, and there was no deposit. She panicked. She thought her benefits were cut off. She spent days trying to reach Social Security until someone finally explained what happened. The November payment had already been made. That money she spent early was supposed to last her through the next month. Ruth told me she wished someone had warned her. That's why I'm warning you now. This isn't a glitch, and it's not new. It's just how the payment system works when weekends and holidays interfere. Social Security and SSI payments are handled through the federal banking network, and deposits can only be made on business days. If the scheduled day falls on a Saturday or Sunday, the payment moves up. The government doesn't want beneficiaries waiting days without money for essential needs, so they pay early instead. It's a rule designed to protect you, but if you don't know it's coming, it can cause real financial trouble. Because what feels like an extra payment one month can turn into a missing payment the next. So let's be clear about the exact timeline. You'll receive your first SSI deposit on Tuesday, October 1st. Then, because of the weekend, your November SSI payment will come early, on Thursday, October 31st. After that, the next SSI payment won't arrive until Monday, December 1st. That's over 30 days between checks. If you rely on SSI, that gap can feel like forever. Rent, groceries, medications, transportation, they don't pause just because the calendar shifted. And that's why planning ahead is so important. Now, let's talk about what you can do to protect yourself from getting caught short in November. Step 1 is awareness. You now know there will be no SSI deposit in November, so treat that October 31st payment as if it were arriving November 1st. Step 2, separate it. If possible, move that deposit, or part of it, into a different account or an envelope marked November. Physically separating the funds helps prevent accidental overspending. Step 3, make a list of your essential bills and divide them across both payments in October. It's easy to see that extra money and think you can relax, but in reality, it needs to stretch further. Step 4, if you know anyone who gets SSI and might not understand this schedule shift, especially elderly friends or family members, let them know. You could save them from the same confusion Ruth went through. Now, here's something else to remember. If you receive only Social Security, not SSI, your schedule stays the same. Your check will still arrive on your regular Wednesday in November. The second Wednesday falls on November 12th, the third on November 19th, and the fourth on November 26th. If your birthday is early in the month, expect your payment on the 12th. If it's mid-month, look for it on the 19th. And if it's late in the month, it'll be the 26th. Those dates won't change. Only SSI is affected by the weekend rule this time. Let's take a step back and talk about why this matters so much. For millions of Americans, these payments are not just numbers. They're survival. They pay for housing, food, transportation, and medications. When even one deposit comes early or late, it can throw off an entire month's balance. And here's the bigger problem. People forget that the next payment won't arrive for another full month. They spend as usual and then realize too late that there's a gap. It's heartbreaking to see seniors ration food or skip prescriptions because of a simple scheduling shift that no one explained clearly enough. That's why this information matters, because it's not just about dates on a calendar, it's about real lives and real stability. Now here's where things get interesting. Even though this early payment pattern happens regularly, it's one of the most common sources of panic calls the Social Security Administration receives. Every single year, when the first of the month falls on a weekend, phone lines are flooded. People think they've been skipped, or worse, cut off entirely. And because hold times can stretch hours long, by the time someone gets an answer, they've already lost sleep, worried themselves sick, and sometimes even missed bill payments trying to figure it out. But you won't be one of those people. You'll already know the truth before it happens. And to everyone listening right now, let me pause for a moment to say something important. This is exactly why staying informed matters. Subscribing to updates like this isn't about boosting numbers. It's about building yourself a safety net of knowledge. It's about protecting your income before a small misunderstanding turns into a crisis. I'll be here every single week breaking down what's changing, what it means, and what to do about it, in plain language that actually helps you prepare. Think about it. Wouldn't it feel safer knowing someone is watching these schedules and announcements for you, explaining them clearly before they affect your check? That's what I do. Not for headlines, for you. So here's my advice, spoken from experience. Don't treat the extra October payment as bonus money. It's not a gift, and it's not a mistake. It's your November benefit. simply delivered one day early. Budget it carefully. If you can, make a simple handwritten calendar for the next 3 months. Mark down the dates, October 1st, October 31st, and December 1st for SSI. Then write down your regular Social Security Wednesday dates. Visualizing it makes it real. And when you see those days in front of you, it's easier to resist spending the early payment too soon. Another tip, set a reminder on your phone or write a sticky note near your checkbook. No SSI payment in November. That one note could save you a month of stress. Now, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. This isn't the first time this has happened, and it won't be the last. Anytime the first of the month lands on a weekend, this pattern repeats. The system can't issue payments on non-business days because the banking networks are closed, so early payments are the only option. It's not corruption. It's not mismanagement. It's just the mechanics of how federal deposits work. The key is knowing these patterns so you can plan ahead every time they occur. Once you understand that, you're in control, not the calendar. What would it mean to you to never have to wonder about your benefits again? To know without stress or confusion exactly when your deposit is coming and how to make it last. That's what preparation gives you: clarity, security, and peace of mind. And that's what I want for you. Because you've earned these benefits. You've paid into the system for decades. You deserve to feel confident, not anxious, about when and how your money arrives. I know it feels like a lot to keep track of. And I know for some of you, just hearing about payment changes brings up old frustrations. Maybe you've dealt with delays before. Maybe you've had overpayment letters, lost paperwork, or months of waiting on decisions. It's exhausting. But here's the truth. Staying informed is your best defense. The people who pay attention, who understand how this system works, are the ones who stay ahead. They're the ones who never miss a beat when these quirks happen. They're prepared, not panicked. They don't have to call hotlines or guess when their money's coming. They already know. So let's recap one last time, clearly and simply. In November 2025, SSI recipients will not receive a payment during November because the payment is being made early, on Friday, October 31st. That means 2 SSI payments in October, none in November, and the next one on December 1st. Social Security and SSDI checks will still arrive as usual on November 12th, 19th, or 26th, depending on your birth date. Treat that early payment as your November money, budget wisely, and you'll be just fine. What would it feel like to go into next month completely confident instead of confused? That's what being informed does. That's what this channel is here for. Clarity, security, peace of mind. So subscribe now, not for me, but for you. Because you deserve to know exactly what's happening with your money before it happens. You've worked hard your whole life. You've earned these benefits, and you deserve to keep every bit of what's yours without the stress of wondering when it will show up. 2 payments in October, none in November. That's the truth. Stay informed, stay prepared, and take care of yourself and your family. I'll be back soon with more updates that matter to you.